Hey, what is going on guys, my name is ThePromG and welcome back to a brand new video. Now, what I'm going to guys today is my monthly manga reading log for the month of June. Now, during this month I read a lot of manga and got some really good progress on some series I've been reading, as well as finishing a couple as well. So I can't wait to share with you guys all the manga that I've been reading this month. So if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. So yeah, let's get right into it. So I actually finished this series last month in the days right before the next month started, but it was after I uploaded my manga log for last month. That is Blade of the Immortal. Now, last month I finished the 9th omnibus, and the very next day I just had to read this omnibus to see how the series ended, and boy, was this series an amazing ride. Throughout the series, you just go on this amazing journey with Rin and Manji, as well as some other characters, and all the characters in the series are extremely memorable, the heroes and the villains alike. Even at some villain deaths, I just felt myself kind of sad, because they were such amazing characters that were no longer going to be in the story. Now, I will say that this is probably one of the most complicated and complex manga that I've ever read, probably second to Eden, It's an Endless World. And by that I mean that there are so many moving parts, so many characters, and things to keep track of. Another reason is that they use a lot of old Japanese words that are specific to this time period, which I didn't really understand. It was hard to keep track of a lot of those, but that didn't take away from the enjoyment of this series too much. But overall, Blade of the Immortal was just an amazing journey and a series that I won't soon forget. Next up, on a completely different tone, I read the first 2 volumes of High School of the Dead. I've been reading some more thought-provoking and intense series this month, so I decided to pick up something that would hopefully be a little bit more fun and lighthearted. So I went ahead and picked up all 7 volumes of High School of the Dead. And I've enjoyed what I've read of this series so far a decent amount. I was kind of expecting more comedy to click with me, and maybe some more fan service. You know, I don't go out looking for fan service when I read a series, but you know, some here and there is appreciated, especially for a series like this. If you don't know what the story's about, basically some zombies start attacking as the high school is going on and the students like band together. You got some big busted girls along with some guys, one who's like a chubby gun expert, and you have our typical protagonist who doesn't really stand out a whole lot with any charisma or like wit or anything like that, so maybe that's the reason why I'm not really enjoying this as much as I thought I would. I really wish the main character was more charming or just something to make him more interesting than he is, but I've enjoyed this a decent amount. If it doesn't pick up in the next couple of volumes as I'm reading it, I may just drop it and sell it off, but only time will tell. Hopefully I'll be enjoying High School of the Dead more than I have been up until this point. Now, a series that I really have been enjoying is 20th Century Boys. This month I've gotten up to volume 9 and things are just starting to pick up even more. I feel like I say that every time I make a video about this, but yeah, there are just so many amazing twists and things I don't see coming. There's also a lot of foreshadowing in the series, so it's kind of cool to see something happen that was hinted at earlier in the series that I didn't pick up on. It's like, how did I miss that? Pluto is one of my favorite series of all time, so needless to say, I've been enjoying 20th Century Boys as well. Naoki Urasawa's artwork, his storytelling, just how he draws characters and portrays their emotions are really all second to none. I'm also reading this series alongside some of my other manga friends, so it's kind of cool to go back and forth and share how we feel about this series. And yeah, I really can't say enough about what I've read from 20th Century Boys so far. The pacing is amazing, the characters, the art are all there. And if you haven't checked out the series for one reason or another, I definitely recommend you go and check out 20th Century Boys. Next up, we have Goodnight Punpun. Now, I've gotten through book 6, I guess, technically volume 12. I actually finished this about half an hour before I'm recording this video, so it's still fresh in my mind, but this was a very messed up volume. If you've even heard of Goodnight Punpun, you know that a lot of people think it's like one of the most sad, depressing, and messed up series in existence. And while it is super messed up and sad at times, you know, I'm not really having the same effect that I thought the series would have on me. Now, I thought that the first 3 or 4 books were super relatable, and I really enjoyed them. It's some of the best manga I've ever read. But as the 5th and the 6th kind of came along and I read them, I start to relate less and less to Punpun, which I guess is a good thing if you read the series, because his life just keeps deteriorating. But it just leaves me wondering why the characters make these decisions, and there's some other things that kind of take me out of the relatability and the immersion. When I was reading the first 3 books of this series, I was completely invested, and that's reflected in my first impression review that I uploaded on this series. But as I've continued, my investment and my overall, you know, feelings for the series have gone down a little bit, so it's probably not my top 5 anymore. And I've yet to decide if it's even in my top 10, but this is still definitely a very good series, and I'll more than likely be giving a full manga review once I read the last volume. Next, on a much less serious note, we have Helsing Volume 10. I finally completed this series and actually uploaded a manga review if you want to go check out that video. But yeah, since I kind of went over all my thoughts, I won't spend long on this one. This is just a super fun series to read, amazing fights, some of the best I've ever read, and just these absolutely over-the-top characters. Reading this series was some of the most fun I've had in recent memory, reading manga, and not to say it's the best series, but it's some of the most fun that I've had flipping through pages and enjoying fights and action. But yeah, I recommend you check out my full manga review of Helsing. I'll leave a link in the description below if you're going to check that out to get my full thoughts. And yeah, I definitely recommend this series if you're into amazing fights and characters. And the last volumes I've read this month are Eden, It's an Endless World, volumes 11 through 15. Eden continues to be one of my favorite series of all time just because of its absolutely amazing world. The characters, the action is just absolutely seamless, and the art is super clean. This is another series similar to 20th Century Boys where the mangaka just keeps you guessing. You never know when something is just going to go completely crazy and the story is going to change. There were a lot of major twists in this volume specifically, some deaths that I was not expecting, and some that made me very, very sad. But yeah, in this manga, while there are frequent deaths, they're done very well and made to feel very meaningful, whereas opposed to some other series that I know where the deaths just kind of seem to be thrown in there for the sake of having characters die. Almost everything about this manga is done to absolute perfection, in my opinion. Definitely my top 5 series of all time. I've recommended this series again and again. I'll say it once more. If you haven't checked out this series for whatever reason, I highly recommend you should go check out Eden, It's an Endless World. But yeah, guys, that's going for this monthly manga haul for the month of June. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. So yeah, this has been ThePromG. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and as always, hope to catch you in the next one.